Obviously, 2 nights ago, the world was kind of set ablaze after a report per NBC Sports Boston, Tom E. Curran, about the decision being already kind of made with Bill Belichick leaving New England after the Germany game against the Colts. Now, I'm very curious to hear what you think about sources inside the Patriots building and how those work, because obviously Tommy Curran has been covering the Patriots for damn near 3 decades, so he does know people. But when it comes to this situation, how do you think information's going to get out? Should we just kind of completely disregard everything because sources when it comes to Bill and the Patriots are always kind of iffy, or do you think there is some smoke to this fire, and do you believe that Bill will still leave after the season or stay?
Well, I do think Curran certainly has sources, and I don't think he would have put this story out unless he felt really comfortable with it. He's done a great job. He's covered the team for a long time. I found it interesting that it came out this week as opposed to the week they came back during their bye week or the week before they played Tommy DeVito in New York. I think the timing tells me that what the message really is we are not going to fire Bill Belichick in season. So if we lose by 21 points on Sunday to the Chiefs, don't come ask us that we're going to fire him. I think this is a question that has to get addressed, not for today, but how does this look 5 years from now? When you win 6 Super Bowls and you have as much success as the Kraft family has had with Bill Belichick, I think you have to think about this next move you want to make in terms of where does this put us 5 years from now? Because they're going to be you can't take the Super Bowls away. You can't take the prestige. You can't take the honors away. So the relationship has to maintain itself. And we can amicably sit down and say, look, we want to change direction, or maybe I want to change direction. Whatever that conversation is will happen at the end of the year. That's fine. But I think the partnership that has produced historical wins needs to at least respect one another at the end of the year to do it the right way, whatever the right way is. Whatever the right way is it bring them back? Is it not bring them back? I think that's really the issue here, is do it the right way. This happens all the time in sports. We see it. But just do it the right way.
People are comparing them to an old married couple. Mm-hmm. They've grown together. They've seen a lot of success together. There's been drama together. And obviously they're going through it right now with a lot of public scrutiny taking place and all eyes on them. First time that Robert Kraft has been in this type of position in his 30 years of ownership. And getting a chance to chat with him this past weekend, it was an honor, obviously. And then getting a chance to chat with Bill was awesome. I mean, that was cool up there, man. And I know that you gave a little nudge to Bill to potentially do that. So I appreciate you helping that whole thing out. But whenever I said to Robert Kraft, I don't envy your position. I don't envy your position right now. Because what? You can extend Bill. Mm-hmm. You can ride out one more year with Bill. You can decide to move on from Bill. That is not an easy... That's not an easy thing, though. That's going to have to happen over there, right? That's not an easy conversation that's going to take place. How does that convo happen? Bill comes into Kraft's office, and they just sit down, and then do you think they take a trip down memory lane where they were? Do you think it's an amicable conversation? Do you think there's a little bit of tenseness? How do you think that goes as somebody who's probably been in a room where something like this has happened in the NFL before?
Well, I think what the conversation is going to center on is the shape of how they visualize the company running over the next 10 years. They've had one man in charge of the team for so long, right? They've had what I call the Lone Star model in the NFL, which is one guy runs football operations, players drafting, and the coaching. That Lone Star model has produced tremendous success. But maybe the Kraft family has decided we don't really want the Lone Star model. Maybe we need a more collaborative effort as we get later in our careers and as the head coach gets later in his career. And so maybe they sit down and say, hey, listen, we want to do this with the organization, and the vision we have is going to move forward doesn't support the Lone Star model. Again, this is all hypothetical. And so I think that's kind of where it is. How do you see this organization running for the next 10 years? And you're not going to replace Bill Belichick. You're just not going to do it. I mean, you're not going to do it from a coaching standpoint. But perhaps you can replace him from 3 or 4 more people and have a collaborative organization, which is what I think that's the conversation. And if Bill says, yeah, I think I could do that, then maybe he stays. If Bill says, no, that's not in the best interest of me, then maybe he goes. To me, that's why I don't see it as a completely done decision, because this is really about the future of how we want to run the company.
You've been in that building a long time. You're obviously a confidant, I do believe, with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick won some prestigious award, and he was only able to invite like 8 people to come with him.
Sure.
Paisano was one of them.
So,
like, when you speak, obviously, we're all going to listen. Just like Tommy Curran, who's been around for 28 years up there, when he speaks, we're all going to listen.
Yeah.
What you just said there, I had not heard yet. Now, on the flip side of that, Chuck has a question because of how close you are to the situation.
Hey, so if he is out of there and they decide, that this is not how they want to run the company, Conman's mentioned Mayo as a possible successor to kind of keep that. But Bill had Caserio, he had Peel, he had you, he had guys, right? I don't even know who's in there now. But if he goes, does he go and take another job to help, like Steve, get Steve with him, another one, and then go to a place where, he maybe coaches another couple of years and then his son maybe becomes that guy, or to help secure his future in the National Football League?
Yeah, how do you think it plays?
I think this. I think the people that achieve this level of success, and you're going to have Nick on later, and Nick is the same way. I think they fall in love with the work, not the results. Ooh. And I think Bill loves working. I think he loves the head coach work. I think he's 3-10. He doesn't love that, but the preparation for Kansas City is the same as if he were 10-3. And so you can't remove the work. We all become institutionalized to the work. And I think he loves the work. And so if that doesn't work out in New England, where the vision isn't correct in terms of where they want to go, then I'm sure somebody will be interested in having him do that work for them, because he still loves the work. And I think you guys witnessed it this weekend. His energy level is still good. He works extremely hard. He's on top of the game. And so why wouldn't he want to keep doing it? I think, to me, as we get older in our professions in the National Football League, we get sent to pasture when actually we're probably better now than we were when we were getting jobs at such a young age. I know for me, I wasn't ready to be a GM as young as I ended up being one. But, that's the cycle that you go through, and I think experience does matter.
We need to get you back in there, a GM job. If you want it.
Right. No. I'm good right here where I am. I'm good. I'm good right here. I would be the first guy to go crazy on the, we're not going to go for it on 4th down in the middle of the first quarter at their own territory. I might lose my mind. I might jump out of the building.
You with a headset on like your Cesario that first year. What are we, punt?
Come on.
We're punting the ball. We are punting the ball.
You will never see me in that. I think there's a time and place for the GM. I don't think the GM should be on the sideline of the game. I think the best thing a GM can do is be.
They're all down there now.
What do you mean?
Everybody's down there. Ballard,
I don't understand that. I think
GMs, assistant GMs. There's so many guys down there. I don't know
how
that
real.
Can
Hold on. This is a big deal now, because this is a big change. There's a lot of GMs down there.
Yes, every sideline you look on, that guy's down there.
It's true.
Chuck hates that.
Yeah.
For me, I think the GM should be in the background. It's the coach's team. We're not baseball. Baseball's a different sport. The general manager has to play the role behind the scenes, helping the team be built, not the focal point. Because the players work for the coach. They stand in front of the coach and they work for him. And you're controlling the money as the GM, which then interferes with your decision-making process if you get too close or the players don't trust you. So I don't understand that. I see it today because of the world we live in with social media. I don't agree with it. You'll never see me with a headset on ever, because I wanted to stay in the background. I think it was important. I was trained that way.